Oh, sorry. I can do. Cool. Bandeham. So we're gonna say prayers invoking auspiciousness, prayers invoking our teachers. Sure. Okay. Uh-huh. So page 1. And so we start off with these prayers invoking auspiciousness. We call to our teachers, to our gurus, to their gurus, to Radha Krishna, and we ask for their blessings to the class. Shri Gurun, Shri Yuta Padakamalam, Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha, Shri Rupam Sagrijatam, Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam, Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Shri Vishakam Agyanatimirandasya Jnananandashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namane Vandeham Shiguvaram Shirupanugapravaram Rajarasarisikam cha Narayanam tam prapanam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Namanakριστaya Bhuntare Rupanuga Bhaktidam Chakripamurtim Narayanam Shri Krishna Linakatani Sudaksham Odarya Madhurya Gunashcha Yuktam Varam Varanyam Purushan Mahantam Narayanam From Shirasanamami Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Shri Keshava Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Vamanayati Namine Gaura Bhava Mayo Deha Jvarana Sambhavaka Bhakti Vedanta Vamano Rag Bhakti Pravartaka Guru Damni cha Sevasu Vaishnave Savadamati Grante Bhagavate Sakshako Samevedante Rati Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhuntare Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Charya Simha Rupine Shishimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshaveti Namine Bhakti Marcha Charitraya Swashitanam Chapaline Jivaruke Sadartaya Shinama Prema Dayane Gaurashraya Vigrahaya Krishna Kamaya Kacharine Rupanuga Pravaraya Vinodeti Swarupine Prabhupadantarangaya Sarva Sadgunashaline Maya Vadatamoganaya Vedantartavade Namaha Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhoyat Valya Premaja Shri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gaudavani Shri Murte Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvantahadine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambhude Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Kauravya Bhava Bhumestvam Nirjesta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vanchakalpatirvyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavidanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Kupesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Surato Pangur Mama Mandamater Gati Matsavasa Parambujo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Drindaranya Kapadrumadha Shrimarat Nagara Simhastanishto Shrimad Radha Shiragovinda Devo Preshtani Bhistevimano Smarami Shrimad Rasarasarambi Vamshivatatashtitaha Karshan Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinata Shriyestuna Vrinjaye Tulasi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Page 28. And we do these all together. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Vandomu Isavadhanama Te Jahara Prasande Bhavatoria Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Jitete Koriya Aikya Adana Kori Omani Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttam Bhagati Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakshudan Diraje Janme Janme Prabhu Se Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita Preme Bhakti Jaha Hoite Advidya Vinashayate Vedagaya Haracharyato Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adamajanara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Koro Daya Deho Mare Pada Chaya Tua Pari Loyenu Sharana Ebe Jash Kushu Kribhuvana Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Page 23. So now we sing about our Guru Parampara. Krishna hoite chaturmukha, hoya Krishna sevanuka. Brahma hoite narandera maharti, narada hoite vyasa, madhvaka e vyasa dasa. Purna pragna padmana bhagavati Nihari madhava vamshe akshobhya paramahamse Shishamoni angi karakore Akshobhyera shisha jaya Tetanami parijaya Tadadasye Jnana Sindhu Dore Tahoite Doya Nidhi Tadadasa Vidya Nidhi Rajendra Oiro Tahoite Tahara Kinkara Jaya Dharmaname Parichaya Parampara Yanam Balo Mahate Jaya Dharma Dasya Kyati Shri Purushottama Jati Tawete Brahmanya Tirtha Sori Vyasatir Tantara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Tahoite Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Vada Shisha Vada Shri Ishvara Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Kedanya Kori Lenya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Guru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahiyanya Dupanuga Jane Rajivana Vishambara Priyankada Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatana Jara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vada Narottama Seva Pada Jarapada Vishwanatha Ahasha Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Jarapriya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vada Shri Goda Kishora Vada Hari Bhajanete Jara Mura Shiva Shabana Vivara Sada Sevya Seva Pada Taurada Ita Dasa Nama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Sarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakti Pragyana Gaudiya Vedanta Veta Mayavado Dhamma Anta Gauravani Prachara Chadama Prachariro Gauravani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Borniro Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priya Mahajana Vamanana Gadara uchiste morakama. Guru parampara, Guru parampara. Parampara, Guru parampara. Guru parampara, Guru parampara. Parampara, Guru parampara. Page 36. Vrindavana vasi jato Vaishnavera gana Pratame vandana kori Savara charana Nilachala vasi yato Mahaprabhu gana Bhumite podiya vando sapada charana Navadvipa vasi yato Mahaprabhu bhakta sapada charana vando Hoyanuragta Mahaprabhu Bhakta Yato Goda Deshe Stiti Sapara Charana Vando Gariya Pranati Jedeshe Baise Gaurangera Gana Udvabahu Kori Vando Sabara Charana Oyachena Oi Bena Prabhuyato Dasa Sabara Charana Vando Dante Korigasa Brahmanda Turite Shakti Dare Jane Jane Evera Purane Guna Gaya Ye Basune Mahaprabhu Gana Saba Pandita Pavana Tahi Lobe Muvi Papi Lovinu Sharana Vandana Korite Muvi Kato Shakti Dori Kamo Budi Doshe Muvi Damba Matra Kori Tatapi Mukera Bhagya Manera Ulasa Dokshakshami Moa Dame Koroni Jadasa Sarva Vancha Siddhi Hoy Yama Banda Chute Jagate Durlabha Hoya Prema Dana Lute Manera Vasana Puna Achirate Hoya Devaki Nandana Dasa Elo Bekoya Jayo Vaishnav Thakur Jayo Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Page 200. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedoya Kohori Swakarshadasiyam Dhamma Sahavatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Gauripadidana Shikaya Sharanagati Karakera Prana Danya Atmani Vedana Gokripe Varana Avashadakshi Be Krishna Vishvasa Palana Bhakti Anukula Matra Kayera Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Vajanangikara Sharanga Sharanagati Oi Bejahara Tahara Pratana Shune Srinanda Kumara Rupasanatana Pade Dante Trina Kori Bhakati Vinoda Pade Duparandori Kandiya Kandiya Bore Amita Dama Shikaye Sharanagati Karahe Utama Jaya Swarparshada Jaya Goda Hari Swarparshada Jaya Goda Hari Jaya Swarparshada Jaya Goda Hari Swarparshada Jaya Goda Hari.
Saptadīpa dīpta kori Shobhanava dīpa puri Jahaya Vishambara deva raja Saptadīpa Shobhanava dīpa puri Jahaya ताहे तारा भक्त जतो ताहते शिवास ख्यात तारे भक्त श्री कृष्ण कीर्तन जार का जा जय जय ठाकुर पंडिता जरा कृपाल श्यामत्रा पालिश होया गौरा प्रेम पात्रा अनुपमा सकल चरिता गौरांगेर सेवा बिने देवा नहीं देही जाने रंगेर सेवा बिने देहा देवी नाई जाने चारि भाई दास दासिलया चारि भाई दास दासिल सतत कीर्तन रंगे गौरा गौरा भक्त संगे संगे अहनिशे प्रेमामृत माता होया যারা ভার্যা শ্রীমালিনী পতিব্রত শিরোমণি যারা প্রভু কহে জানানি যারা नित्यानंद राहे घरे पुत्र समा स्नेह करे स्तन झरे नेत्रे बाहे पानी कबु बा ईश्वर ज्ञाने नति करे श्री चरणी कबु कोले कोराये लालना प्रभुर नित्य भंग लागी मृत्या पुत्र शोक त्यागी शुनि प्रभु करो ये रोदना प्रभु नित्य भंग लागी व्रतश्रुत नारायणी वैष्णव मंडले ध्वनि जार पुत्र वृंदावन वादास वरेण्य चैतन्य लीला त्रिभुवनायुध लीला बनिया प्रेम दासा करे जरायाशा सप्तदीप दीप्त करी शोभे नवदीप पुरी जाहे विश्वम्बर देवराजा ताहे तार भक्त जत ताहते शिव सख्यात श्री कृष्ण कीर्तन जर काजा जय श्रीवास ठाकुर जय श्रीवास ठाकुर श्रीवास ठाकुर जय श्रीवास ठाकुर जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि Hari Bol. Do you need me to come and give it to you?
Welcome to Dr. Romulo, Hare Krishna, and Dr. G. We're going to New Life Expo. And it would be nice to have a crew come for lunch when we saw the amazing hustle books and maybe like your town. He was pretty good, but he wanted to see your kids. It's free for the voters. I don't know. I'm just going to get one. Yeah, we have it.
Okay, so illuminating the 7 islands of the world, Sri Navadvip shines due to the presence of that king among the gods, Sri Vishvambar. There in the midst of Sri Vishvambar's bhaktas is the renowned Srivasa Pandit, whose life mission is Sri Krishna Kirtan. All glories to Pandita Thakur. By spec of his mercy, one can become recipient of Gaur Prem. All of his pastimes are matchless. Exclusively fixed in the seva of Gauranga, he does not know any demigod or goddess. Along with his 4 brothers, servants, and maidservants, he always performs kirtan in various ways, day and night with Gauranga and his devotees, intoxicated by prem. His wife, Sri Malini Devi, who Mahaprabhu calls mother, is the crown jewel of all chaste women. Nityananda Prabhu resides in their house, and she loves him as her own son. When she sees Nityananda Prabhu, milk flows from her breasts and tears fall from her eyes. Sometimes, knowing Mahaprabhu to be the Supreme Lord, Srivasa Pandit bows down at his lotus feet, but sometimes he takes him on his lap to nourish him. In order to not interrupt the ecstatic dance of Mahaprabhu, he renounced any expression of sorrow at the death of his son. Hearing of this, the Lord wept. Srivasa Pandita's niece Narayani was the voice of the Vaishnava assembly. Her son Sri Vrindavan Das described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas and thus delivered the 3 worlds. It is in him, Srivasa Pandit, that Prem Das keeps his hopes and aspirations. Do you have another one to do, Santi? Page 86. Kuranga bonite habe Puraka sharira Hari Hari bolite na Yane pabe nira Bolite habe Arakavenita charet Karuna ibe Samsara vasanam mura Kavetu chabe Karuna ibe Samsara vasana mura Kavetu chabe Vishaya chadiya kabe Shura have mana Kabe ama era bo Shri Vrindavana Paragunata pade oibe ankuti kabe ama burja bonse jugala piriti Paragunata pare Ramara Asha Pratana Karu Yesada Naratamandasa Jaya Nita, Jaya Go, Jaya Nita, Jaya Go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Does everyone, does, do you have your phone? We're gonna do an Astakam.
Or should we hook it up?
It's gonna take so long.
Can we just keep the projector there
I know.
so that it's like easy up and down?
I sent you, I had you on.
Ashrayami Shri Srivasam Tamadyam Panditam Muda Suklam Baradaram Gaura Bhakti Pradayakam Shri Gaurasya Navadvipa Lila Kirtana Sampadi Ya pradhanataya katya Srivasa gatir mama Shri Gaura Kirtananande Putra Shokapi Nasparsat Yam Srivasam Bhakta Rajam Tam Namami Puna Pune Ado vasasto shrihate bhagiratyastate tate kumarahate yasyasit same gauragatirgati Shri Rama Shri Patisheva Shri Nidhisheti Sattama Srivasa Bratarogyaya Srivasam Nomi Sarvara Puranarada Rupena Hari Nama Sudhajare Jo Jagat Plavaya Masa Sashivasodhyunagati Ya Padni Malini Devi Shri Gauranga Mahotsayat Sahasra Pagyeranandai Srivasa gatirmama pativad gauranga gatir malini gaura visruta tatpada padma savade pranatati me sahasrasa Shri Chaitanya Priyatamam Vande Srivasa Panditam Yat Karunya Katakshena Shri Gaurange Ratir Bhavet. With great delight I take shelter of Sri Srivas, the foremost of Pandits. He wears white garments and has a golden complexion. It is he who grants devotion to Sri Gaura. The kirtan of Sri Gaura performed during his pastimes in Navadvip is Srivas's wealth, and he is prominently celebrated for this. He is my refuge. Srivas was so absorbed in the bliss of Sri Gaura's kirtan that even the death of his son could not touch or affect him. Time and again I propitiate that king of devotees. At first he lived in Srihata, and later he came to dwell in Kumarhata on the banks of the Bhagirathi, and took shelter of Sri Gaurasundar. That Sri Srivas is my goal and refuge. I venerate the eminent and saintly Srivas, whose brothers Sri Ram, Sripati, and Srinidhi are exalted among saintly personalities. He who in previous ages was Narad, flooding the universe with the ambrosia of the holy names of Hari, is now in current time Srivas. He is my refuge. I take shelter of Srivas Prabhu, whose wife Malani Devi satisfies Sri Gauranga with the meals she prepares with her own hands. Just as Sri Gauranga is Srivas Thakur's sole refuge, he is also the sole refuge of Malini, Srivas Thakur's wife. This is well known throughout the land of Gauda. With utmost regard, I offer thousands of obeisances onto their lotus feet. He is exceptionally dear to Sri Chaitanya. I venerate Srivas Pandit. A merciful glance from him awakens love and attachment for Sri Gauranga. Actually, how about page 182? Narad Muni Bhajai Mina. Narad Muni Bhajai Mina Radhikar Mananame Narad Muni Bhajai Bina Narad Muni Bhajai Bina Radhikar Mananame Namayamani Udita Hoy Bhakata Gita Sai Narad Muni Bhajai Bina Radhikar Mananame Ami Adhar Bharishe Ghana श्रवण जुगले गिया भागत जान सघने नाचे बोरिया पनहिया अनारद मुनि बजाय बिना राधिका रमन नामे मधुरी पुरा आशव पशी माथाई जगत जाने के हो बाकादे के हो बनाछे के हो मते माने माने नारद मुनि बजाय बिना राधिका रमन नामे बजाय बिना राधिका रमन पंचवदन नारद धोरी प्रेमेर सघना रोला कमलासन नाचिया बोले बोलो बोलो हरि बोलो नारद मुनि बजाय बिना राधिका रमन नामे सहस्रनाम परम सुखे हरि हरि बोली गाय नाम प्रभावी मथिलो विश्व नाम रस सबे पाया नारद मुनि बजाय बिना राधिका रमन नामे श्री कृष्ण नाम रसने स्फुरी पुरा लय अमर आशा शिरूपा पदे चछाइहा भक्ति विनोददा नारद मुनि बजाय बिना राधिका रमन नामे Narada Muni bajai bina Radhika Ramana name. Bala Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhika Raman Radhika Raman Radhika Raman Radhika Raman Radhika Raman Radhika Raman. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Oh Hari Bol 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 Hari Bol. Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol. Great sage Narad plays his veena in accompaniment to the names of Sri Radhika Raman, and the holy name immediately appears amidst the devotees singing. When the currents of the nectar of the holy name of the Lord streams profusely and enters the ears, the devotees dance continuously, filling their hearts with joy. The stream of sweet nectar maddens the people of the universe. Some weep, some dance, others become fully intoxicated within their minds. The five-headed Lord Shiva embraces Narad, roars repeatedly out of praying, while he who sits upon a lotus flower, Lord Brahma, dances enthusiastically and calls out, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thousand-headed Lord Shiva, feeling supreme happiness, sings Hari Hari by the influence of the holy name. The entire universe becomes maddened and everyone tastes the nectarian mellows of the holy name. This servant Bhaktivinoda prays at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. May the holy name of Krishna fulfill all my desires by manifesting upon my tongue.
can follow along. Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Taruajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Benedus Tang Sarvabhut Hridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavoivasmi Najivami tam bina. Iti, other page, Rajiv, the white page. Now the pink. Beginning. How do you start the beginning? Kripayati yadi radha Padita shesha badha Kema param vishishta Pushti maryadi yorme Yadi vadati chakinchit Smera soditasrir Dvijavaramani pantya Mukti shuktya tadakim Shama sundara shikanda shekhar Smeraha sambrali manohara Radhikara sikamam kripanite Swapriya charana kinkari kuru Nanatha Vrishabhanu Nandini Shri Makabja Rasalola Satapada Radhika Padatale Kritastitim Tvam bhajami rasikendra shekhar Sambadaya dashanetrinam bibo Prartaye brajamahendra nandana Astu mohantavati ballabha Janma janmane madhishvari priya. If Sri Radha is merciful to me, then unlimited obstacles to my devotion will be removed. There will be nothing superior for me to attain because I will have received the excellence offered by the paths of both Vaidhi and Rag. If she speaks something while smiling gently, thereby revealing the brilliance of her rose for beautiful pearl-like teeth, what significance will the oyster of liberation have? O Shyamasundar, O you whose head is adorned with peacock feathers, whose face is graced with a laughing smile, whose murli flute enchants the mind, and who are most expert in relishing ras with Srimati Radhika. O ocean of mercy, please make me a kinkari, maidservant at the feet of your beloved. You are the lord of the life of the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj, and you are like a bee, always eager to taste the nectar of her lotus-like face. O Rasikendra Shekhar, foremost of those who are rasik, or who relish ras, who are situated at the feet of Srimati Radhika, I worship you. O son of the king of Braj, O all-pervading one, O Mohan, who enchants the minds of all. Taking a piece of straw in my teeth, I pray that your supreme beloved, Sri Radha, be my dear goddess, birth after birth. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto to the Sat Shri Srimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Pabro, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto to the Sat Shri Srimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. To our Param Gurudevs, our grandfather Guru, Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees, and to the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Madhav Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. Well, since the camera's not coming down to me, I'm going to go up to the camera. Can somebody pass that pillow over there? I'm going to get higher to match the camera. Huh? Is it straight forward? Okay, fine. Okay. Then it's okay, thanks. So today is a very auspicious day. It's the appearance day of Srivas Thakur, or Srivas Pandit, one of the 5 in 1 absolute truth. It's also the disappearance day of Madan Mohan Seth, Visanti, or appearance day. But appearance and disappearance days are the same. A prominent disciple of Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we'll be hearing about both their glories. So Radhika is asking, why don't we fast on this day, the appearance day of Srivas Pandit, since he's one of the 5 in 1 absolute truth? Because, so here they are. Here is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the camera going on them too? Here is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radha and Krishna themselves, or Krishna imbued with the complexion and mood of Srimati Radhika. So he is Bhakta Rupa. And then Nityananda Prabhu, who is the first expansion, the expansion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's Bhakta Swarup, or the nature, the essence, the manifestation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the expansion of a devotee. Mahaprabhu is God himself, but he's in the form of a devotee. Then his expansion, Nityananda Prabhu, who is non-different from Krishna's brother Balaram, from whom innumerable universes too, and incarnations come. So he's Bhakta Swarup. And Lord Chaitanya took the form of a devotee, so he's Bhakta Rup. And then comes, and the same thing is there on that big painting. And then at the end here is Bhakta Avatar, the incarnation of a devotee. His incarnation means he's Mahavishnu, who breathes in and out universes. So he's a major player in the creation. and annihilation, because he also breathes in universes. And then on this side, we have Gadadhar Pandit, who is Bhakta Shaktikam, the transcendental energy in the form of a devotee, and he is non-different from Srimati Radhika, the intrinsic, supreme, internal Swarup Shakti Srimati Radhika. And then Bhaktyakhyam, that's Srivas Thakur, who's the represents the pure devotee. Srivas Adi means beginning with Srivas Pandit, who's the greatest devotee. I offer my obeisances to. So he's not, the first three are Vishnu Tattva, then comes Shakti Tattva, and then comes Jiva Tattva. He's not an ordinary Jiva, but he's not Vishnu Tattva. Okay, so that's why. All right. And then here also, there's Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda in blue, then Advaitacharya just next to, is this shown? And then Advaitacharya, and then way at the end is Srivas Thakur again. That's, yes, thank you. Gadadhar Pandit is in the middle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So his glories are unlimited. We're referencing Srila Gurudev's lecture on him, also Srila Prabhupada's translation of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj's book, Sri Chaitanya and his associates. Babru? Can you take the mic?
Why is Srivas Thakur bald when it seems many of the other devotees aren't bald at that time? Because he's a householder, so that's kind of why I'm asking.
Yes, my only reference to answer that is that he's older. Nityananda and Mahaprabhu haven't taken sannyas yet. Actually, Nityananda Prabhu is about 10 years older than Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is less than 24. And the only reference I have is the picture that Srila Prabhupada gave me, actually. Other artists, like I have this little picture here, shows that he has hair.
You painted that one on the wall, right?
The one on the wall, can somebody get it? I think you'd need a chair to get it. That picture over there was not done by me. That's the original that Srila Prabhupada brought on the ship Jaladuta when he came first to America in 1960. It's not the original print because in this day and age we have photos. But this is the picture, but this is not the one he brought. My godbrother Achyutananda made many copies and gave me a copy. So Srivas is at the end there. Unfortunately, it's a little bit cut off. And he's in red. He's wearing a red dhoti, whereas the description of him by Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Maharaj is that he wears white dhoti. So sometimes different pictures show different things. Okay. No, some Indian artist. I don't know. Okay. So, Srivas Pandit, Srila Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj quoted the authoritative book on who's who in Gaura Lila is who who in Gaura Lila in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes is who in Krishna's pastimes. So Srila Maharaj quoted from the Gauragana Desha Deepika that Narada Muni in Krishna's Lila has become Srivas Pandit in Gaura Lila. And Narada Muni's friend, Parvat Muni, who also flies through the skyways, became Srivas Thakur's younger brother, Sri Ram Pandit. He has 4 brothers. And Malini Devi is his wife, and she is Ambika Devi, Krishna's wet nurse in Krishna Lila. So he's, there's no words really to describe him. On one hand, he appeared, the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear more human-like. He came more recently, just 500 years ago, and he performed pastimes of a devotee in Navadvip. So, on one hand, Srivas Thakur was born in Sylhet, and then later on he came to Navadvip and met Mahaprabhu. On the other hand, he's actually Narada Muni, who was born from Lord Brahma's deliberation, which is the best part of his body. Brahma is the secondary creator of the universe. And he begot the 4 Kumaras, the great sages, the 4 Kumaras, Lord Shiva, and then 10 great sages, Narada being the best of them. And Narada Muni, Gurudev said Narada Muni was born from his throat. Throat is where you sing from. So he's the greatest preacher, Narada Muni. He plays his veena and travels. He's called the eternal spaceman, Srila Prabhupada called him. And he travels not only around the earth, but he travels not only throughout the universes, where he makes unlimited number of disciples, like Prahlad Maharaj, the devotee of Lord Nrsimhadev, is one of his disciples, and Vyasadeva, who's the literary incarnation of the Lord, who manifested all the Vedic literatures 5,000 years ago. His guru was also Narada. He had written so many Vedic literatures, but he still wasn't satisfied. He wrote the Puranas, in which the Mahabharata, in which Gita is there, Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, everything, but he still wasn't satisfied. So his guru, Narada, flew in from the skyways and said, "What's wrong? I see that you're not happy." Vyasadeva said, "You know why I'm not happy. You're the doctor and you can prescribe the medicine." So Narada said, "Well, the reason is that you haven't told the pastimes of Krishna in Braj, how he cries when Mother Yasoda threatens him with a stick for stealing butter and yogurt. You haven't written how he's controlled by Srimati Radhika and the gopis. And so go into trance and meditate in trance, and then all the lila, all the pastimes of Krishna from beginning to end will come in your heart. And then when you write that, you'll be fully satisfied." So that is the Srimad Bhagavatam. By giving oral reception to this literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, bhakti at once arises in the heart. Bhakti for Krishna at once arises in the heart, and one becomes free from lamentation, illusion, and fear. Okay. So, Narada Muni not only travels around the material world, all the universes, but he also travels in the spiritual world. He's a devotee of Lord Ram. He has many forms, where he's a devotee of Lord Ram, of Lord Narayan, of Krishna. He did many perform many beautiful pastimes in Braj, Krishna Loka Braj, and also in Dwarka, manifesting the glories of the gopis. Then, beyond that, his source is, you getting excited, Chaitra? His source is Madhu Mangal. The devotees or the associates in Braj are the source of the devotees and associates in the manifestations. Maybe she can go to the, we do have a speaker in the boutique. Do we? Can somebody check? You don't know if it's working? All right.
You're saying Madhu Mangal is the source of Shiva.
Yeah. Srivasa is non-different from Narada and non-different from Madhu Mangal. Everybody, yeah, we're getting there. What was I going to say? I don't remember. Everybody has their origin in Braj. Like Arjun, who's Krishna's friend in Braj, one of Krishna's Priyanam Saka's dearmost coward friends, is the source of Arjun in Dwarka, who heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, like that. So, Madhu Mangal is a very funny cowherd friend of Krishna, always joking. And once, Narada prayed to become a gopi so that he could serve Radharani and the gopis, serve Krishna in that form. And so he did austerities, and by the mercy of Yogamaya, he became a gopi. So became a gopi is very interesting because he didn't become a gopi. All relationships with Krishna, like he has the most relationships, all relationships with Krishna are eternal. It never starts at any time. But he performed a human-like pastime of desiring, doing austerities, and then getting the benediction when Yogamaya dunked him in Narada Kund, or Brahma Kund, in Vrindavan, in Govardhan, Varsana. So, just like Lord Shiva, he performed a pastime of doing austerities, pleasing Yogamaya, her dipping him in the well, becoming Gopiswara Mahadev in the form of a gopi. So Gopiswara Mahadev is actually the source of all the other manifestations of Shiva. But as a pastime, he went through all that to become Gopiswara Mahadev, the gatekeeper of Vrindavan and the gatekeeper of the Rasa dance. It's very complex. Yes. Can you take a mic? Can you wait a second? Thanks.
See, that makes sense, like for Gopishwar Mahadev, but for having two Braj Swarups in Sakya Ras and in Madhurya Ras, anyone can easily use that argument to say Srila Prabhupada has a Swarup in Madhurya Ras and in Sakya Ras. If Narad Muni can be Madhu Mangal Saka and Narad Gopi, then why can't Srila Prabhupada?
Not only that, but Balaram also has a form in Madhurya Ras and in Sakya Ras, and also a mood in Vatsalya Ras. Anyone can say anything, but where's the evidence? Like Srila Prabhupada, according to his own activities since he came to America, considering who his, the acharyas that he follows, the acharyas whose commentary he quotes, commentaries, he quotes Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, Narottam Das, whose songs he sings, they all reflect the mood of a manjari. And also the sannyas mantras that he took at the time of taking sannyas from a manjari, Srila Bhakti Priyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. So, and so many other references. Also, the typical mood of the Manjari is that I don't want to see the face of any gopi who's against Srimati Radhika. Whereas the Priyanam Saka, Subal, he helps Krishna with all the other gopis as well, as we see in the beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So nothing points to the idea that Prabhupada is a coward boy, except when Prabhupada said that to some devotees, including me, including Govindadasi, including Harsharani. Why? Because we weren't ready to enter into the world of Madhurya Ras. We all, came from the world of orgies, LSD, back in the 60s. That's what was going on. Not me, but the 60s. LSD, meat, fish, eggs, the whole works. So we weren't prepared. Just like Srila Vyasadeva wrote all the 10 cantos, the first 9, to prepare the reader to come to the 10th canto to read about Krishna and the gopis. So the Manjaris, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada is in the line of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He calls himself a Rupanuga, means the followers of Rupa Goswami, the other Goswamis, and Rupa Manjari, and the other Manjaris. So that's just a little tidbit. That's why. Oh, so Gurudev said in one Appearance Day festival, one of his Vyasa Puja festivals in Mawulambar, because he was talking about the Guru Vastakam, the prayers to Sri Guru that we sing every morning. And one of them is Nikunja Juano Ratikeli Siddhai Jajalivi Juktira Pekshaniyam. The spiritual master, and this is Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur, so it applies to all those in his line and who he's following. Spiritual master is always engaged in making tasteful arrangements for the conjugal pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. And so while explaining that verse, Srila Gurudev said, so Srila Prabhupada is one of these, but he cheated them all. He didn't want anybody to know at the time, because we weren't qualified to hear at the time. When we became qualified, like, look, what do I have in my hands, Radhika? It created a curiosity. And then, oh, it's that. So first we had to get ready. Because I asked Srila Gurudev once, why is it that I had to wait 28 years from the time I met Prabhupada to find out that after Krishna killed Dantavakra in Dwarka, he went back to Vrindavan. And he gave that example. Okay, let's go to Srivasa Thakur.
I have a quick question regarding the same topic, similar. Can I ask it?
You already took the time to ask it. But we haven't even started the glories of Srivasa yet.
So I was reading Venu Geet the other day.
Close.
I was reading Venu Geet the other day, and it came to this part where it says, in the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 11.245, it's kind of just explaining Sarva Bhuteshu Yapashyed, this verse. And it basically says, whatever mood and relationship a high-class Uttam Adhikari devotee has with his revered Lord, he sees the rest of the world also having the same mood and relationship. So I'm wondering, there's an Uttam Adhikari who is in the mood of a Manjari, does she see everyone else as a Manjari also? Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Let me read it again. Whatever mood and relationship a high-class Uttam Adhikari devotee has with his revered Lord, which would obviously be a Manjari, right? And it's saying
Wait,
here.
obvious that what would be a Manjari? Oh, Prabhupada.
The Uttam Adhikari, for example, like Prabhupada, right? Or someone in that. He sees the rest of the world also having the same mood and relationship.
Well, this is in relation to the gopis in Venu Geet. And they saw like the Jamuna River, and in the mood of a beloved offering the lotus flowers. But then they also saw the clouds as friends of Krishna, of the same complexion. And then they also saw, the deer they saw as beloveds. What else was there? The clouds. The birds they saw just as sages. So I can't really answer that, how Prabhupada sees everybody. Okay, Srivasa Thakur. And so we discussed a lot about Srivasa Thakur in relation to Narada. There's even a Sanskrit term, which you'll read in the Swarup of the Jiva, like chapter 11, chapter 12, where it talks about that some associates can have multiple forms eternally, and some can have multiple moods eternally, like Balaram, and being like a friend and a servant and as a elder. All right, so he was very humble. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Nimai Pandit, decided to have kirtan at his house every day. His house is like the Rasa Lila. And only the intimate associates were allowed. Those who are not favorable to Mahaprabhu, not favorable to kirtan, the doors were locked. So they began to criticize, and one of them, trying to bring everyone down who was in the kirtan. So one of them was Gopal Chapal. He went so far as to, during the nighttime, they would do kirtan all night. And during the kirtan at night, while the doors were closed, Gopal Chapal put paraphernalia for worshipping Kali right outside of his door, so that everybody would think that's how he spends his nights. They put meat, wine, red sandalwood, and there's this red flower that's especially offered to Durga and Kali. And so when Srivasa Pandit opened his door in the morning and saw all that, he called out, he laughed, and then he called out, "Everybody look, see? All night I actually worship Durga, Kali, hiding." And so, because everybody knew the greatness of Srivasa Thakur, they said, "Who has done this offense to Srivasa Thakur?" So this is a very good lesson for us. We don't need to retaliate. We don't need to defend himself. Wait a minute, I didn't do that. Because, number one, the person who is offensive, they will get the reactions. If I accept their criticism and get all worked out about it, then it has to come to me. But otherwise it'll go just to them. And it did come to him. It did come to Gopal Chapal. He got leprosy. And so he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and begged to be free from the disease. And Mahaprabhu became very angry when he saw him and said, "What? You are a sinner. You offended my devotee, Srivasa Thakur. You should suffer from leprosy for millions of years." So then some years later, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, and he was in Koladweep, the island of Koladweep, in a place called Aparada Bhajan Stala, which means the place where offenses are forgiven. So Gopal Chapala went to him at that time when he was showing his merciful lila as forgiving. And Mahaprabhu told him that you'll have to go back to Srivas Thakur for forgiveness. I can't forgive you. So he went to Srivas Thakur, who immediately forgave him. And then he was immediately free from his leprosy. Another time, this scholar and teacher of the Bhagavatam, Devananda Pandit, was reciting the Bhagavatam, and his many students were there. This Rajiv, this whole set of books is the Bhagavatams. And then Srivas Pandit passed by, and hearing the beautiful Bhagavatam, he started exhibiting all the 8 ecstatic symptoms of hair standing on end, weeping, rolling, fainting, and Devananda Pandit and the students thought that he was a pretender, and so they threw him out, literally threw him out. And so when Mahaprabhu heard this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he said, he's not reading the Bhagavatam. He doesn't understand one word of the Bhagavatam. And it wasn't until later when Devananda Pandit had the association of and served Krishna Pandit, Mahaprabhu's associate, that Mahaprabhu forgave him and he became a great devotee. So he was very humble and he was very renounced as well. There's a verse in the scriptures that if one is attached to anger and lamentation, he can never think of Krishna because his mind will be always disturbed. So Srivas Pandit was a perfect example of not lamenting. So, as mentioned, the Sankirtans were usually at his house in Navadvip. And one night, his son died. And the mother and the other ladies were crying, wailing, you can imagine. And so Srivas Thakur, when he saw that his son had died, he went to the ladies and he said, Mahaprabhu is going to be disturbed in his kirtan. So if you don't stop crying, then I'm going to jump in the Ganges because I've disturbed Mahaprabhu's ecstasies. But because Mahaprabhu is all-knowing, and he said, what's going on? There's something wrong here. So somebody mentioned to him that Srivas Pandit's son just died. And he said, why didn't anybody tell me? Because Srivas Pandit didn't want to interrupt your ecstatic kirtan. So he immediately went to the boy. And he said, boy, why have you left Srivas Pandit's house? He's a great devotee and you're getting everything you need for your advancement in devotional service. So he touched the boy and the boy immediately got alive again. And he explained that, yes, I've had this wonderful association, but by your will I've gone on to the next place. And I'm very happy there. So I don't want to come back. And then at the end of that, Gurudev was saying this in a class in Badger. And so at the end of the class, I asked him, well, what could be better than being in Srivas Thakur's house of Mahaprabhu, personally doing the kirtan? Why would he want to leave, and what better place could there be? So Gurudev said he attained the fruit of the kirtan and the association, and he went to Goloka Vrindavan to associate with Krishna. So then Mahaprabhu told Srivas Thakur's wife, who's Malini Devi, that myself and Nityananda Prabhu will be your sons. Do you want him to come back? No, I have my sons now, Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu. He was one of the main singers also in Chaitanya's Mahaprabhu's kirtan. Even before Mahaprabhu is Krishna, right? So, but he came to the world to teach everyone how to become devotees. But before, first he was hiding. When he was very young, he was hiding and pretended to be a normal student. I mean, of course, he did miracle things like his parents, when he was a little baby, they would see these symbols of Vishnu footprints on their floor, because Mahaprabhu, Nimai, called Nimai when he was young, was crawling around. And they heard the sound of ankle bells, so many, and he also revealed himself when he was youth in Navadvip to one Brahmana in his six-armed form as Ram and Mahaprabhu and Krishna. But usually he played like an ordinary boy. He did his cute and mischievous human-like pastimes. And so, but he always offered obeisances when he saw devotees, like Srivasa Thakur. So once he and Srivas, passed each other on the road, and Srivas Pandit said, you're studying, but you don't know that the fruit of studying is to become a devotee of Krishna? So Lord Chaitanya told him, you are a devotee, and certainly by your devotion, by your mercy, one day I will become a devotee. And then after he went to Gaya, when Mahaprabhu went to Gaya to offer obeisances for his deceased father, at that time he met Ishvara Puri, his spiritual master, got initiated, and when he came back, he was no more Nimai Pandit, but he was Bhog Nimai, which means ecstatic, mood-filled Nimai. And so his mother thought he had gone crazy because he was rolling and fainting and calling out, wailing. So his mother and other elders thought that he had gone crazy. So he asked Srivas Pandit, everybody says I've gone mad, have I? So Srivas Pandit said, that madness is very good. I want that madness. So Mahaprabhu told him, if you had also said I was mad, I would have jumped in the Ganges. You saved me. So once, because he wasn't interested at all in making money, he and his brothers and their whole families were just interested in chanting kirtan. That was their life. In the streets with Mahaprabhu and in their home. And they were so poor that he was so poor that he didn't need to get an air conditioner because there was no roof on his hut. And he never had any rats because he never had any food. And so Mahaprabhu said to him, why don't you do something to maintain your family? You're just chanting, that's not enough, you're a householder. So he went like this, 3 claps. Mahaprabhu said, why are you clapping 3 times? He said, well, if the first day I'm not interested in earning a living. If the first day I don't get any food, then I'll let it go. I'll just keep chanting. If the second day I don't get any food, fine. If the third day I don't get any food, then I will jump in the Ganges. So Mahaprabhu was so happy by this reply, and he said, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who gives fortune to all living entities, she may have to beg, but you'll never have to beg. You'll be fully taken care of by Radha and Krishna. Then at the end of one night, when it was Ekadasi, the next morning, or a few mornings after that, Mahaprabhu said to Srivas, that I want to hold Vyas Puja, to worship Vyasdev, the author of all the Vedic literatures, and all other literatures, like our Goswami's literatures 500 years ago, are all in pursuance of those ancient Vedic literatures of Sri Vyasadeva. So I want to hold Vyas Puja at your house, even though you're poor. So Srivas Thakur said to him, no problem, I'm poor, yes, but I do have the mantras for Vyas Puja. I even have the book for Vyas Puja that explains what to do. And I have, what is that called? Kalas, and the coconut, and I can make the swastika, wasn't called swastika then, that sign, you know, that Adolf Hitler made the swastika later, that's actually a Vedic sign. So I have everything. So we can have it at my house. So at 9 o'clock. So everybody showed up except for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu was the one who was supposed to do the puja. And so, and garland, just like we have deities, so representing Vyasdev was that kalas with the coconut in it and the sign. So it was Nityananda Prabhu, who was senior, who was supposed to be doing the garlanding and the worshipping. So Srivas said to him, Shripad, he was called Shripad, means the lotus feet of the Lord, Pad. Shripad, so, okay, it's time, get up and do the Vyasa Puja. And he said, yes, I'm doing it. But he never got up. So then later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, what's the word? When you do something purposefully late. And then Mahaprabhu said, Shripad, do the Vyasa Puja. So Nityananda Prabhu immediately got up and took the garland. Shri Radharaman Bihari Ji Ki Jai. Took the garland and put it on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are the Vyas of Vyas of Vyas. You're the Guru of Vyas. You're the God of Vyas. Therefore I'm worshipping you. So that was all in Srivas Pandit's house. As I mentioned earlier, whereas Gurudev and all the other acharyas mentioned earlier, the non-Hindus, they were complaining. The Muslims, they were complaining that they're keeping us up all night. They couldn't understand the benefit they were making by hearing the kirtan of pure devotees and God Himself. They're keeping us up, they're disturbing our sleep. So they went and complained to the Muslim Qazi. And then the Muslim Qazi sent his henchmen to the house of Srivas and broke the mridanga. So there's a place by the courtyard of Srivas Pandit called Kol Banga. Means breaking the mridanga. And so Srivas Pandit, and the threat was, if you do this again, we're going to throw your house in the Ganga. So he went and complained to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately organized a big Sankirtan party. How many people attended immediately? Hundreds of thousands. And there were different parties. Srivas was the main singer in one party, and there were other parties. And they all went with logs, with, what do you call that, cloth around the top, and then kerosene, and then set a flame. So they all came with torches to the Qazi's house. And Murari Gupta, one of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also came. And because he's Hanuman in Krishna Lila or in Ram Lila, he started jumping around and breaking everything like a monkey. So the Kazi was petrified, thought he was going to be killed or something, and then he ran in his house. But Mahaprabhu said, Mahaprabhu went to the door and called him, "Come down, you are my maternal uncle." Why did he say that? Because he was Kamsa, Krishna's maternal uncle. So the Kazi came down a little nervous, but because Mahaprabhu was speaking with him in such a familial way, he sat down there outside of his door with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all the devotees were listening, and Mahaprabhu said, he explained to Mahaprabhu that when I sent my men to break the mridanga, when they came back, all they could say was Hare Krishna. What happened? And their beards were burnt. What happened? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Why don't you tell me? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So they went mad, but in a good way. Their beards. And then he said, the Kazi said, and actually what happened to me last night is that this big lion, half man, came and jumped on my chest. And he said, and he scratched my chest, see? And he said to me, if you disturb my devotees in kirtan one more time, I'll kill you. I'm going to let you go now, but next time I'll kill you. So he said to Mahaprabhu, so now I'm going to make an edict that none of my associates, none of my dynasty, none of my future dynasty are ever allowed to interrupt the kirtan. Actually, we see in third canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Sorry, this is long, but it's all your fault for asking the questions. Hare Krishna. Just kidding. Huh? Where are you going? Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, that's right, I would want you there. What time are you coming back? Oh, well, it might be. Okay, can you put all your power into the initiation? It's going to be right after the class. Class will end at 10:30. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, I'm sorry. See, we were going to do the class on Srivasa Thakur yesterday, so that the initiation could promptly be at 9 today. But then, when I was explaining why I was going to do it yesterday, Vasanti and Radhika said, why don't you do it on the right day that has the more potency? So then I thought, okay, how can I adjust this? I'm not going to tell him to come later after the class. What I'll do is, I was going to explain about Srivasa Thakur at his initiation anyway, although not this elaborately. Plus, like his name, when I was thinking of what to name him, what spiritual name to give him, and I wanted to do it on this auspicious day, because remember we were looking, what's the next auspicious day? Srivasa Pandit's appearance day. So then I was thinking, so what's a good name? Usually we give a name that's the same, begins with the same letter. But I was thinking a lot of R's, but I wasn't happy with any of them. So then I was thinking, okay, his name is Rajjeev. So then I was thinking that Raj means like a king. So in this one of the songs that we just sang, Srivasa Pandit was written as Bhaktaraj, the king of devotees. And then there's the Jeev at the end, Raj Jeev, and with the R and the Eve. So then I thought, well, we have the Raj, and he's the king of bhaktas. Then we have the Eve, so why not Shri Vas Pandit, Das, servant of the servant of Srivas Pandit. So then it all worked out like that, and I wanted him to know the greatness of the person that he's being the Das of, servant of the servant. Of course, you're the servant of all the devotees, but this way you remember when you got initiated and you particularly appreciate the glories of Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit Das Ki Jai. So, so that deliverance of the Muslim king was also credited to Srivas Thakur. Also in Srivas Thakur's house, Mahaprabhu performed his Sat Praharya Lila or Maha Prakash Lila, where usually he was in the mood of an ecstatic devotee, fainting and crying and things, and chanting Hare Krishna, and while chanting Hare Krishna, remembering the pastimes of Krishna in Braj. But then, one morning, he decided to get into the mood of Krishna himself, or Narayan himself. And he took all these Shalagram Shilas on the altar of Srivas Pandit's house and put them on his lap. And he got up and sat up on the altar on the throne of Vishnu. And he was giving blessings of love of God, Krishna Prem, to all the devotees, all his associates, who were devotees of the various associates. And at that time, he even revealed his universal form when Advaitacharya came. You know, like Krishna did, the whole universe in his one body. And so everyone was overwhelmed. This was at the end of one of the nights. So, let's see if there's anything else. I mean, there's a lot. It's unlimited. Yes, we can read it more on our own. We can read about him in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and in this book, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, and in Chaitanya Bhagavat. There's also a lot about him. Okay, and we'll end here. Gaur Premanandi, Srivas Pandit Ki Jai. Panchatattva Ki Jai. 5 in 1 Absolute Truth Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gora, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Gora, Nitai Gora, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Go, Go Premanandi, Panchakopatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Because we have 5 minutes left, we got the bell to stop at 10:30. I just want to mention something. I want to mention one thing about Madan Mohan Seth, and then we can talk about him more in the next class, because he was an amazing servant. When he was first initiated by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and I'm saying this because Srivas Pandit Das is getting initiation today. So because when Madan Mohan Seth was getting initiated from Srila Prabhupada gave him an instruction to never eat anything that is not cooked by a devotee, especially not by one who is not initiated, preferably second initiated, but at least first initiated. So when he first took initiation, his wife was not initiated yet, but a few years later, she got initiated, and at that time he started taking water and food from her, because then it was prasadam. Before that, of course, he cooked for himself. So I'm requesting Srivas Pandit Prabhu. So you'll also be called by the other devotees, although you'll think of yourself as Das Anudas Anudas, servant of the servant, but the other devotees will address you as they address each other as Prabhu. Means they're humbling himself to other devotees. He always said, just to be quick, Madan Mohan said, was also instructed by his guru, Srila Prabhupada, to always avoid mundane ventures. So when his daughters were of marriageable age, he didn't even want to do anything. His wife said, what's going to happen to them if they don't get married to some good husband? He said, I'm sorry, my Gurudev said not to engage in any mundane ventures, so I'm not going to do anything. And then one man came with a proposal, but then he didn't come back, proposal to marry one of the daughters. So his wife said, at least go back to him and discuss further. So he said, okay, and he started to walk out the door, then he stopped, he said, no, I can't go. My Guru said, don't do any mundane ventures. Okay, so of course he worked, but then he employed all of his wealth in the service of the Mat and the service of his Gurudev, and we will talk more in the next class. He's a great personality. Madan Mohan Seth ki jai. Tadiya Tirubhav Titi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Did I do Panchakalpatru yet? Okay. All right. Now everyone can take prasadam except me and Srivas Pandit. Mahaprasade, this is the prayer that we say before prasadam. I'll just do it in English today. In the future, if you're here when the prasadam comes, it's written on the red paper over there, and it's also on page 243 of the songbook. You have the songbook on you? It's 243 and 244, right?
I think so, it's close to that.
Mahaprasade, do you see it? Page 243. And then on the next page. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sopa Punyamata Rajam Vishwashonai Vajayate Surira Vijujal Jyotendriya Taika Jive Phale Visaya Sagare Dharma